Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
What's all that?
I try to sync up
Time
my.
it up. The first couple times.
Yeah.
But and then I blew it on the other. Welcome to the Mike O'Mara Show. Sometimes, I do a lot of frenetic work before the show gets on the air, and then I just get all calm, and then I just get weird.
No, it's an adrenaline drop.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Welcome to the Mike O'Mara Show. I'm Mike. That's Rob. That's
Hello.
Oscar. We're heard in Lawns, Michigan, San Jose, California, Artfin, Turkey, Bernalillo, New Mexico, Pierre, South Dakota, and Gorey, Georgia. Oscar just told me something before the show that I'm excited about. I can't tell you anything about it, but I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be kind of cool. That's going to be a very neat look.
It's going
to
to
be fun.
It's going to solve a lot of, it's good production-wise, next level.
Oh, it is
Next level.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Precisely. So that's it. Always growing, always getting better for you, the listener. Let me take a brief moment before we get our talking head in here to say thank you to the kids you kids that donated to my kid for the American Heart Association Challenge. Keep them coming. Still accepting donations for that. So, make my son a hero again. And that's the only reason No, that's not. It's a great organization. And
Would
God
you call
knows,
it a good outfit, Mike?
It's a good outfit. And thank you. He's doing that kid their school. And it really helps their school stand out. And it also raises money for a wonderful organization, the American Heart Association. As someone who has a invasive cardiosurgeon in his family, I know that the technology and the progress they make on a daily basis in the area of heart health is astonishing, and that's because of donations like that. So he's raising money for the Heart Association. Help my son out, and you can find that by going to the fan page or going to my page, and there's a link there. And that's it. Wanted to share that. Oscar wanted to come in and do another show and tell. This is 2 days in a row now that we have gotten show and tell with Oscar, and then we're going to bring our talking head in.
I teased this yesterday. And Rob, if you'll do the honors with
Of
the
course.
letter.
Mike, it reads, Dear Casey. No, it says Oscar.
You sound off microphone again.
I was just...
Just a little bit, into the mic.
Okay,
That's
it reads Oscar. Your excitement about the Netflix documentary Countdown Inspiration for Mission to Space led me to send this package to you. I know you saw I saw the one pop of Howard Wolowitz in space, the Earth behind him on Facebook. There was a second Funko Pop that we sent up with our friend Chris Sembrowski. That pop is Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Unfortunately, Chris did not capture a beautiful photo of RBG like was captured of Howard, but it's a Funko Pop that still has been in space.
What is a Funko Pop?
I will show you in a second.
Yeah, they're
All right.
they're
All right,
very
very
popular collectibles. Is what
Okay,
they are.
okay, got it.
Enclosed in this package is that pop. Wow. The Funko Pop belonged to my wife, who was a very big supporter of RBG, who loved everything that RBG represented and valued. My wife battled cancer for 3.5 years and finally fell victim to it on November 4th, 2021.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what to do with this pop, as it does not have much stardom and publicity as the Howard Wolowitz pop, but I figured sending it to you to talk about on the show would be a good thing. Mentioning the documentary and the whole purpose of the Inspiration mission to donate to St. Jude would be something my wife would love. You having the platform to send out that message to thousands and thousands of TMOS listeners. Enjoy the Funko Pop, the other inspirational trinkets, and thank you for all the laughs for the last decade or so. Signed, Michael Goff.
Wow. That is just...
And Mike, here is actually...
Oscar, what an honor.
We sent a picture. I texted a digital image of the picture to you guys, so you have that on your phone.
Absolutely wonderful.
Wow.
Wrapped in bubble wrap here, along with, let me do the big reveal, some showmanship. We've got inspiration for hats.
Oh, that's cool.
We've got the actual mission patch here. And Mike, you would love this because you have a patch now that is from the mission Inspiration 4, a VIP pass.
Oh, on a
man,
lanyard.
that's
Oh,
right.
so cool.
And
just
then
amazing.
a little keychain that's pulled before flight. And a handful of other
And
things.
this is all from the Inspiration.
Yes.
Inspiration
and
for, yeah.
Here she is.
Oh, my God.
That's been in space. How cool
That
is
is
that?
so very, very cool.
And
To think of you on that is just spectacular.
Well,
That is
also-
just great.
also, you know, I think on a broader sense, and look, this is this is a priceless, and one of the most thoughtful gifts we've ever been given as a show, I would say.
Is that floating or is that stuck on the window?
It's floating.
We're looking at
Floating.
that is just amazing.
Zero gravity. Wow.
Right here
Wow.
on set, next
amazing.
to my little Dragon space capsule
Look at
and the
that.
Transformer, right? For what I thought was fascinating, and so sorry for
to
your
be
loss.
so thoughtful
Yes.
in a time of loss like that.
Yeah.
is
Yes, of
just,
course.
That's I would describe that as a level of not only self-discipline but courage to take your time when so many people would just crawl into bed and not want to get out, and to take that to honor his wife and think of other people.
Spread the word about St. Jude
That's a
as
special
well, yeah.
person. That's a special person that sent you that, and that's amazing to me. That
Agreed.
really
Agreed.
is. Wow.
If I may highlight just the power of our community here, civilian spaceflight was not even in our purview when Mike put together this show, and the odds that we have connections to 2 of the 4 astronauts that went up in space, completely individual. Like they're exclusive to our world. They don't know each other. They know the TMOS universe. We had Dr. Proctor on the show, Mike, if you remember, through
who was one of the best guests we've
Yes.
ever had. Absolutely incredible.
And then
she was spectacular.
the connection to Michael Goff through another one of the crew members, completely separate from each other, that they both had a connection to this little show.
Yeah, it's special. It's really, really amazing, and
It's humbling.
That's just so cool. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Dr.
thank you.
Goff. Really, I'm stunned. I'm stunned at that.
Michael
I really
Goff,
am.
thank you so much.
Michael Goff was
sorry for
part
your
of that
loss.
crew as well.
No, Michael Goff was a friend of one of the crew members.
A friend of one of the crew members. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Do we know which crew member? It wasn't Dr. Proctor, right?
No,
Was
no,
it?
no. Chris, I'm going to
okay.
bring up his full name here. I always butcher it. Hold on 2 seconds. Pat for me, if you don't mind.
Of course not. The thing that is so crazy there are pieces in the Smithsonian of trinkets and collectibles that were on space flights because they are so rare. I mean, the amount of thought and just the rareness, it's humbling to have this in the studio. The fact that this Funko Pop
Chris Sembrowski.
went to space.
Yeah.
Went to space. Wow.
Chris Sembrowski, Everett, Washington, 42 years old. The friend of our friend who sent us that.
Michael Goff.
Works in data engineering for Lockheed Martin. During college, Mr. Sembrowski worked as a counselor at Space Camp, an educational program in Huntsville, Alabama that offers children and families a taste of what life as an astronaut is like. And now he's a real astronaut, and he gave that to his friend who shared it with us. That's special. That's really, really cool.
Unreal.
Thank you for bringing that in today. That really makes the show for me. I love these moments. It makes you, with everything going on in the world, it's just so nice to know that there are just people and they gave it to the right people, in my humble opinion. I think that means a lot to us.
yes,
It really,
of
really
course.
does.
I have a plexi. I've never ordered a plexiglass box in my life, and I said, well, this should probably go there with the letter. I should also add. There are many times where I'm a complete a-hole on the show.
No.
And I read this in my office alone I'm just opening up the packages waiting for the anthrax when they get sent to the studio here. And Shannon walks in, my wife, and says, "Are you crying?"
He's sensitive. He's sensitive because they thought of you. It was spectacular.
Also the fact that it was for his wife, and he wants to keep her memory alive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so touching.
Mr. Goff, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for that. We truly appreciate that. And you know what? If you'd like to throw a donation to St. Jude today, if you hear this and it moves you like it moved me, please go ahead and do that. It's time for our Talking Head segment. That was just a great way to start the show. Our Talking Head today is Mr. Dennis Lowe. Dennis has been a big fan since 1993. That's nearly 30 years.
Look at that.
He lives in Parrishville, New York, 25 miles from, Canada. He lives there with his second wife, Carol, married 25 years, 3 cats, Thumbelina, Chester, and Muffin. All right. And 3 dogs, Fred, Ginger. Well, I guess I know why they did that. I'm old enough to know that reference. And Sadie. I had a dog named Sadie. He is allergic to children. Oh, wow. That's pretty good. In his storied life, he has been a soldier, a musician, an EMT, a nurse, a pharmacy tech, and a man of the cloth. That's a fascinating life right there. In 23 years, he has served in 6 or 7 branches, flavors of Christianity. Wow, 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could name 6 or 7. We'll play that game with him. He calls himself a walking ecumenical council. He was first sucked into the show by our radio play, of It's a Wonderful Life. That's what got him into the show.
I know. I kept questioning this.
That's 93. That's the one with Rudy, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, did that suck. Anyway, his all-time favorite moments are when Patton Oswalt stops by. Well, us too. His wife is a doctor of the bassoon. Now, there's no need for that kind of talk on the show. So.
Mike, it's not that kind of show.
And Dennis once saw her perform while he was seated next to Jack Palance. If you want to know why I love the talking head segment, I got to get this guy out and stop with the bio. Her favorite Mike voices are Charlie Stewang's Tabernacle, James Garner, and Oscar's Papa. He has listened to the podcast since day one, yay, and he has a very rare piece of showbiz memorabilia. Intrigued you should be. And now here is Dennis Lowe. Dennis, great picture. A man of letters. Look at that in the back of all those books. A well-read man. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. All of the walls are covered with books. This is just some of them.
That's beautiful, and it looks like, are you wearing your ecumenical robes? Yeah, look at that.
Beautiful,
huh?
yes.
Nice.
That's a good one. Okay, I want to, right out of the bat, Dennis, I want to play the game with you of 6 or 7 branches, flavors of Christianity, and then we'll get to the full interview, but I want to play this game first. So I'm going to lay this one, Methodist.
I've not served a Methodist church.
Hey, I got one right away. That what?
That's not true, because my longest pulpit was historically a Methodist Episcopal church.
Okay.
But they weren't when I got there. They were an independent Christian church by that time.
Non-denominational, is that what they would call that? So you've answered the question. Episcopalian, yes.
Yes, I was trained in the Episcopal church. Yes.
Lutheran.
I've attended a lot of Lutheran churches, never served one.
All right. Let's see. Quaker.
No, I've attended some Society of Friends services, but never served one.
Well, I'm doing well with this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Baptist.
Oh, good.
Nope, never served a Baptist church. And that's an interesting story. You would think Baptist is like one, right?
Right.
No.
No.
When I was in seminary, we had a New Testament professor who schooled us. She was the director of Baptist studies at the Lutheran Theological Seminary of the South, teaching at our Episcopal School for Ministry. And we made the mistake of, how can you be a Baptist minister? You're a woman. And so then the next hour and a half was her diagramming the 88 major varieties of Baptist, right? And then that was all testable material.
Ouch.
Wow. So of the 6 or 7 you have been involved with, where do you sit? What pulpit are you at right now?
Right now, I serve Scotch Presbyterian Church.
Presbyterian.
Which is a PCUSA church. There are many varieties of Presbyterian Church. When I was at an Episcopal church in South Carolina, there was a PCUSA church to my left, an ARP church to my right, and a PCA church around the corner.
All right. When you talk about and for those of you, I am interested in all things religion. I am, because I was raised Catholic. I spent some time in.
You're also closer to finding out about religion than most of us.
That's true. It's time to get ready to cash in your chips.
Is that a death joke?
Oh no, I didn't mean it that way. I just,
Jeez, you incredible hump. Anyway, I'm sorry, Reverend. Let's say so. Episcopalian and Presbyterian. He makes me laugh. Episcopalian and Presbyterian. Before I jump in the casket, which is the more intense?
Well, the most intense, I guess, or really serious about it would be the Orthodox Church I served, because I was also ordained Ukrainian Orthodox.
And that's close to Catholic, is it not?
Very close. You know, there was the Great Schism, which people mispronounce schism, but the East-West split. Right before then, it was a unified church. Capital C.
All right. So now you are a Presbyterian minister, and you're not. No,
I've served a Presbyterian church. Everybody is so hard up.
What the hell are you, Dennis? What's that? I'm sorry, you dropped out. Go ahead. What?
I'm a Christian. I don't get so caught up in brands anymore.
Okay. All right. So, because it said it here, you call yourself a walking ecumenical council.
Yes.
And
I grew up in the United Church of Christ, and I've also served United Church of Christ churches.
All right. When you say walking ecumenical council, give me a sentence or two as to what that might mean for people.
I've been in several different expressions of the church and trained in several different expressions of the church and seen what strengths and especially what weaknesses each of those has, and realized that the things that make us different aren't nearly so important as the things that make us almost identically the same.
I will give you, and if I hope to my secular friends out there, you don't mind this little dive into Christianity, but I'm going to give you my 3 top words from time in Episcopal churches, Catholic churches, and Episcopal Lutheran hybrid churches. I'm going to give you my 3 favorite words when I see them around the church. The one, numero uno, is love. The second one is hope. And the third one is forgiveness. Those are my big 3. I like sermons on all those subjects. Otherwise, I don't know. I'm not quite sure. But forgiveness, I think, is a biggie for me. It truly is. I think it's important.
I would agree with that. And one of the most common Hebrew words in the Old Testament is chesed, which is unconditional love.
Right. Right. Yeah. I think it's a big deal. I really think. And, I talk about my mom and her faith, and I am not religious currently. I'm not involved in the church where my son was baptized.
You're between churches.
I'm between churches right now, but I will tell you that as a woman of faith, and having my mom as an example, it was amazing for her. She was the bravest person I ever saw, and it was because of her faith. She was a non-judgmental, practicing Catholic who, at the end of her life, found strength in her faith, and it was an inspirational to watch. I want to move on to your wife, who is a doctor of the bassoon, and I have to jump right into Jack Palance.
Yes.
Because Jack Palance, of all the celebrities I've observed over the years, I think Jack Palance, Rob, did we have him on the show?
In studio, Mike. Yeah.
In studio. Thank you. That's why I'm old, and I don't. Yeah, we had him in the studio. Big, tall guy.
Mountain of a man.
Absolutely. So you were watching her play, and you were sitting next to. Tell us the Jack Palance story.
Well, my wife is a longtime bassoonist, like since she was, I think, 16 or 17. And one of her many jobs, she played with the South Carolina Philharmonic, which performed in downtown Columbia, South Carolina. So we were living in Augusta at the time, and we would come over to Columbia for performances. And I always got free tickets because, a comp, because she's in the organization. And seating usually was fairly full, but I don't think I've ever been to a sellout there, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But the guy that came and sat next to me was Jack Palance, and it's you don't say, oh, that dude that looks like Jack Palance. There are none of those, right?
That's absolutely true. Right.
And I'm no runt, and at the time I was 6 feet 240 pounds. I'm a lot thinner now, but he towered over me, and his shoulders were just enormous, to like you must have to turn sideways to go through a normal door. And so all these blue hairs were flitting around him, and like, oh, Jack Collins, I was just trying to be cool about it, and hello, sir, and he asked a little bit about like the orchestra and the pieces, and thank God, I'm a musician, but I'm not as well trained in classical music as my wife, certainly. So thank God they were playing things I knew about and could tell them a little bit about the pieces. We had a nice time.
That's cool. That's very interesting. And what brought him to that particular part of the South?
He was doing filming something in a more rural area of South Carolina, and I guess he was staying, or they were on break or something, and had come to the state capitol there.
Could you tell us approximately what year that was? Just ballpark it.
96 or so.
So it was after he did the push-up thing on the Academy Awards. So I mean, he was in his second phase, his resurgence of his career.
The City Slickers era.
Yeah, the City Slickers era. That's very
maybe
cool.
doing City Slickers 2 or something like that.
Curly's gold.
It's incredible. All right, I have to ask this, since it's in your bio that Rob presented me with. And by the way, for the naysayers, and pardon me, since you're a very active man in religion. Hey, for all of you that are out there that say, I don't read this because I don't do the work, you bite me. It's sitting in front of me. I could read it anytime I want. I like to be surprised.
Right.
It makes it more fun for the segment. It makes it interesting when you haven't spoken to the person yet and you see that he is allergic to children. You are allergic to children. What is wrong with you? Dennis, tell me, what is the deal?
It makes it challenging doing a baptism.
Mike, I gotta say this. Excuse me, this is so funny. When we're doing the pre-interview, I said, "Do you have children or pets?" He says, "No, I'm allergic." I said, "To dogs?" He said, "No, to children." So it was perfect. Yeah.
Right. I'm sure you've been around a lot of kids. What's the problem, Dennis?
Do you remember what W.C. Fields said about elephants and women? I love to look at them, but I wouldn't want to own one.
Fair enough.
It's parenthood has never appealed to me,
Really?
Yeah, just never in my life did I think, wow, that's something I want to do.
That's interesting. You have animals, you have cats, and you have dogs, but children in your and you've been a soldier, so you've been in the military.
I was a soldier for 6 years, and I got hurt when I was in the Army. That's how I was able to go to college. I'm a disabled veteran, so you guys paid for me to go to school, and I thank you for that.
Wow.
You didn't? Was it a combat related injury, or did you fall off Arlie Ermey's obstacle or something like that?
An alcoholic who drunk his whole paycheck had gone back to the barracks to get some friends who had money and was driving them to the club and ran over me.
Oh my God.
Oh wow. That's any detail with that at all?
Yeah.
I had a compound fracture, the left tibia and fibula, and I completely destroyed my right knee. And so I was in the hospital at Eisenhower Army Medical Center for 6 months. Oddly enough, we had a guy in there named Jake the Snake.
Not the wrestler.
No, he was 6.5 feet tall, skinny, redheaded kid, and you had to watch him because he would follow the nurse who would bring around your meds to all of us who were bedbound and try to engage you in conversation and steal your meds.
Oh, well, that's good. I thought that Jake the Snake was probably the guy who did colonoscopies.
That guy that's there with that. So let's see. Soldier, musician, you kind of covered that. EMT. And a nurse. Of all the things you've done in your life with this amazing resume, what brings you the most joy? I know it ain't kids.
Well, church can bring you a lot of joy and also a lot of heartache because, people call me in the middle of the night sometimes, although it's been a little while since I had my own pulpit and that would happen because I'm filling in now. But, somebody might call you at 3 a.m. and their life has fallen apart. or they need you to come over and tell the family that although grandma's gone, it's going to be okay. And that's a tough part of the job. And oddly enough, there are people now coming into the work who don't want to do that part of the job. It's a shame. And then they run into difficulty when they find out the job can be difficult.
Is that an option to say, hey, I don't want to do the hard stuff?
Yeah, I don't do
I was
Windows.
thinking the same thing, Oscar. Yeah. Really?
I would think not. But you'd be surprised how often people just, man, I need to get over there, and I'm not going to do it. It's a shame. I just like EOD people run toward the explosion. It's not for everybody.
Do you see that as a trend as a man of the cloth, that there are people that are just not more as full service as they were, say, 20, 30 years ago?
They misunderstand the entirety of the job. They think if I love to get up and speak in public, right? So I must be good for this job. Well, it's a small part of the job. My motivational speaking is 1 hour a week, right?
Right.
And the other 167 are quite a bit different. It's a lot of one-on-one. It's a lot of career counseling. It's a lot of grief counseling. It's a lot of other things, a lot of business management.
That's interesting. Now, it lists here that you've been listening since day one to the podcast. You've been listening all the way back to everything I've done since 1993, and you have a very rare piece of showbiz memorabilia from this show, and I'm fascinated about that. What do you have for us? I
am charter member 03058 of the 4-Hour Club.
4-Hour Club. Yeah. that is wonderful. Awesome. So you've been at it a very, very long time. What's that? I'm sorry?
Together.
What's it go? Start again, because you drop out when we talk to you. Go ahead, Dennis.
It's taped together because it's so brittle.
Thank you for sharing that. Is there a chance, before we let you go, I'm going to let you say hi to whoever you want to say hi to, but I also want to throw in a request. You think at some point, just for everybody associated with the show, all right, Oscar, Rob, Pony, me, everybody, all of our families, say a little prayer for all of us, because as much as I don't practice, I hedge my bets.
Sure.
I like to hedge my bets a little bit.
I don't think we need a prayer for you. I think we need a prayer about you. Lord, we thank you for the gift that is this show that helps people through their days, that has helped a lot of people through some hard times, and given a lot of wisdom that doesn't necessarily come from the Bible, but comes from the spirit of the things in the Bible, and is a gift to God's people.
I'm going to get a little verklempt with that one. Did that get you, Rob? That got me a little bit.
This first segment, man.
I know. This is very, very intense and emotional here. Dennis, we got to let you go, but is there anybody you want to say hello or a last message for anybody? You've been a wonderful talking head segment today.
My buddy Brad Chatillion in Germantown, he and I are both from Columbia, Illinois, and found out separately that we had both come to the show separately and both enjoy it very much. So he will be watching this segment and enjoying it because he's a huge fan too.
Wow. Well, thank you. And I say sincerely, God bless you. Dennis, keep doing what you're doing. And to your wife, the bassoonist, and up there to Jack Palance, I say thank you very much. We appreciate having you on the show. Thank you. We got to take a break. When we come back, we've got the homepage. Thank you very much, Dennis Lowe. That was really terrific.
Fantastic.
We will take a break, and we will come back with more fun and more thrills. You, ladies and gentlemen, are listening to the Mike O'Mara Show. And there was just a prayer about this show. How about that? How cool is that? All right.
Am I in the right place?
I feel guilty.
Oscar, it is your father.
Listen to The Mike Show.
The Mike Show!
And then
The Mike Show!
there was a segment on The Mike Show where you talked about me dying in the list you gave me.
I am disappointed in you.
Am I your payaso? Which means, am I your clown? Am I your clown, right, in Spanish?
Am I your clown?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And it sounds worse in Spanish.
Yeah, payaso.
Like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
Your brother's being pushy. Tell him to back off.
Say hello to my little friend.
Don't be un payaso. The TMOS bonus show is an extra uncensored hour of La Diversión every week. Order a subscription today by clicking the banner at MikeOMaraShow.com, and you'll have a plethora of the Mike Bonus Show.
Payaso.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, and it's a pleasure to welcome back FanDuel to the Mike O'Mara Show. It's the best football weekend of the year. 2 big games that will determine who goes to the biggest game of them all. Who you got? Cincy, Casey, Frisco, Los Angeles. No matter who you like, the game is more fun when you got a real interest in it. If you know what I mean? That's why you need FanDuel. FanDuel is hooking up new customers with 30-1 enhanced odds for either game. $5 can win $150. There's no better place to bet the playoffs than America's #1 sports book. Don't miss your chance to win $150 off a $5 bet. Just use promo code TMOS when signing up. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, use promo code TMOS, and pick your conference championship team before the kickoff. And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Colorado, Connecticut, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, or West Virginia. New users only. $10 first deposit required. Must wager in designated offer market. Max bonus $150. Bonus for Tennessee users fulfilled in site credit within 72 hours. Tennessee site credit expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. TN Redline 800-889-9789 in Tennessee or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia.
He did that live.
Hard. Yeah, that was incredible, wasn't it? Man, oh man. What a talent.
From the 4 corners of the World Wide Web and into your digital device, it's what you need to know. This is the homepage.
This is the homepage, and on a related sports note here, I have to just show my joy when I tell you that legendary Boston Red Sox slugger David Ortiz, I think the best clutch hitter in the history of the Boston Red Sox, going away, was the only player elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame this year. And this is his first year on the ballot, so he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He got 77.9% of the vote from the Baseball Writers Association of America. And man, would I like to meet those other people, those 23 people that didn't. What the heck? 23%? Show me those bastards!
One of them was Rudy. No, Mike, I actually have tape of David Ortiz when he found out. Would you like to hear it? It's very nice.
Yes, I haven't heard it. I'd love to hear it.
Right here. It was yesterday.
I first of all want to thank God, for giving me the opportunity to be part of this very elite group of players. That's what pretty much every player dream of, the support throughout the year from my family. I mean, I don't think I would have done it without the support coming from the family, the families. And, man, the Red Sox, I mean, the fans, everybody around who pretty much encouraged me to be the player and the person that I became to be. Thanks God, everything came out together at the right time, and here we are.
Thanks God for David Ortiz. David Ortiz, my favorite modern-day player in the Reds. I was a huge Carl Yastrzemski fan. In the run-up to 2004, David Ortiz used to get a look on his face, and I would say to Carla, look at his face. Look at his face. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. And he would do it. It was an absolutely incredible clutch hitter. Yeah. And that's what it's all about in baseball. I mean, you don't know, unless you're a Red Sox fan, you don't know what that's like to have a guy come up and you just know in your gut he's going to do something spectacular. It was fantastic.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So thank you for leading with a positive, because the headlines yesterday or last night, this broke last night.
We're all about the guys that didn't get it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, your thoughts on the guys that didn't get it?
Well, we're talking 4 guys whose numbers should have made them first ballot inductees failed
Bonds
on their 10th try. That means they never can get in. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Sammy Sosa, and Curt Schilling, who's the outlier in this. You got the steroids thing with Bonds, Clemens, and Sosa. Curt Schilling just kind of has gotten himself in trouble with his mouth. And Bonds, Clemens, and Sosa became poster boys for the steroid era, and that's why they never made the cut. Schilling's exclusion probably comes from his controversial public statements. Last year, he asked to be removed from the ballot because he knew he wasn't getting in. For what it's worth, Big Papi wishes Bonds and Clemens were going in with him. Quote, those those guys, they did it all. Like Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez was also in his first year of eligibility, but that's another guy that's clouded by performance-enhancing drugs, probably won't get in. He got, Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod got 34.3% of the vote. So at this point, he's not even halfway there. And once again, bring me those 23%.
I have a question for you about Ortiz, because I know you're a huge fan and you have been for a long time.
Yeah.
He was a great player, but how much of it is his personality? Because he is a little bigger than life. He's actually, I mean, he was portrayed on Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
I mean, he just was such a fan favorite.
Still had to perform on the field.
True.
Yeah, and the joy that he had, though. And then, you know what? I, by chance, was driving on a pre-scheduled trip up to Boston to see my brother-in-law and sister up in Boston the weekend of the Boston Marathon bombing.
Right.
And the following week, I was coming up there. I was on the road coming into Boston when they got the Zarniev guy, that scumbag. And I went to a game on Saturday where he said, "This is our effing city."
Right.
And that became iconic for David Ortiz. So he loved the spotlight. He loved the pressure. And there are people like that in the public eye and that do things, and he's beloved. And I love the connection between another Hall of Famer, Pedro Martinez, and David Ortiz.
They're friends.
Pedro, another first ballot Hall of Famer, got him on the Red Sox by pressing management to bring him in.
I didn't
he
know
was
that.
with the Minnesota Twins.
Oh, that's great.
His renaissance was when he came to the Red Sox, and he started going nuts. And so I'm a huge fan. Pardon me for gushing, but
that's all right.
I gushed. David Letterman is making a guest appearance on Late Night with Seth Meyers to celebrate the show's 40th anniversary on February 1st. Late Night first premiered on February 1st, 1982. Wow,
Yeah.
it's back, we were, that's right when I graduated college. It's a big deal for him to be appearing on NBC again, considering they didn't have the best breakup with,
Well, he didn't have a good breakup with CBS either. He's not good at breaking up with people.
Nah, he's not. And does he? I guess the big question, will he still have the beard? I mean, you were paying attention to this, right, Rob?
Yeah,
I mean,
this I was going to talk about this later. This is a big deal, and I think this is ultimately a nose thumb to CBS, that he's going back to NBC. And also, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that of all the crews, all the Jimmies that are on a Late Night right now, Seth has been the most respectful to Letterman because it's Letterman's franchise. And I forget, when Letterman had his last show, I believe, on CBS, Seth redid his entire show open to look like the old Letterman open and only aired it once. But it was a beautiful tribute. And I think that Seth holds him in high regard. And as time goes on and people know that Letterman really was the heir apparent to Carson and the last guy in that sort of era, Seth is the one that is really keeping that alive. So I think this is a sign of respect to Seth as much as it is the franchise.
So that's Feb 1 that he's going to be on that show?
Is it February 1 or 2nd?
I think it's February 1st.
Okay.
I think that's when he's going to be on that.
A quick sidebar with Seth's show. Rob Ford and I were talking about how, with all due respect, within the pandemic, a lot of these television shows, they can't have makeup artists. They can't have like the proper crew in place. Mm-hmm. So they suffer on air. And Rob Ford and I were commiserating on like, why does Seth, like the entire presentation is so terrible in this Omicron phase?
like he's in like it's this show. Like he's in his basement or something like that.
And then
right?
we're like, do they not have access to is there a chip shortage? You can't buy a Comrex right now? What is Rob Ford was like, do you mind, with your permission, as a team, can I write? He wrote their production staff.
Seth Meyers?
Yes. To see if they needed like to borrow a Comrex for a week because he sounded so terrible.
Wow.
I was like, that's ballsy. Why not?
Yeah.
I think I get a vibe that it's corporate NBC, just kind of saying, who cares about Seth, right?
That goes
We're gonna
way
pay
back.
attention to Jimmy Fallon. That's what we care about.
It goes
right?
way back. Letterman asked for 12:30 because he said they don't pay attention to 12:30.
They don't.
They don't. And so he got
could
away
care
with a lot of
less.
stuff. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
So, wow.
Well, this is for all of us, so here we go. Happy National Spouses Day.
Hey.
To all the married people out there, but don't feel too bad, single people. Spouses are great and all, but also Annoying.
In what way?
Someone recently polled 1,000 Americans who are married, and 44% agreed with the statement, my spouse gets on my nerves sometimes. Well, that's vanilla.
Any playoff weekend.
Yeah.
Mike, I'll say
true.
this. I'm not a monster, but when Carrie complains that an impending snowstorm is coming in on a Friday night and meaning no school closure, that pisses me off. Because you know what? You're a grown-up.
Because she'd like it to be on a Thursday.
Well, she wanted to be on a Monday and maybe
she likes snowstorms Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah,
Thursday, Friday.
it's like still living with an elementary school kid.
How long do you think is an NFL game on television? Briefly, 3 hours?
3 hours and change.
Right? 3 hours and change.
3 hours and change for almost every NFL game.
This past weekend, one of the greatest playoff weekends in the world, especially on Sunday.
Of course.
These games were crazy. Watching Tom Brady come back from what was the improbable. Stayed with the game.
Mm-hmm.
My wife,
like
she has a feminine urge to take any joy away from me.
You said last week the feminine urge to ruin.
Yeah, it's she walks.
Well, what did she do?
She walks into the family room where my father and I are watching the game, and she starts asking me questions about things that don't matter for months. And I said, "Can we talk in 3 minutes?" She goes, "It's just another game." I said, "No, can we just talk in 3 minutes, please?" And as I'm explaining to her how important this game is, because I think she cares, I miss what is like a big stretch of the comeback, because it takes 2 minutes for me to explain to her that this is it. He's going to come back. And then my dad's like, "Are you watching the game?" I'm like, "I'm trying to explain to her how important this is." And then it was ruined.
Right. Yeah. I can help. All right. It's not going to help if you are such a purist that everything has to be live. But if you have DirecTV or a DVR, you're watching the game, you're watching it live, you just have to use the pause button. You have to use the pause because you don't want to miss the content.
I did this week.
You can't mute it. You have to, because it happens all the time. They are not
They know.
as we are.
They know.
A man can sit and watch, whether it's a movie, whether it's a television show, whether it's a football game. We can watch in silence, uninterrupted. That's it. With an occasional, maybe if we got buddies around going, amazing throw, amazing pass.
Yes.
I don't want to be, look, I don't want the misogyny alarm to go off here, but I don't find that the case with most women that I've been around. They can have a conversation that doesn't stop.
I literally on Monday texted Carrie. I said, tonight we can watch The Righteous Gemstones because we got it last night. And she said, great, sounds good. I sit down, I hit play, the theme music ends, the dialogue is about to begin. For the first time in 40 years, she decides to empty the dishwasher. And I'm like,
tough though. Yeah, tough with that one because she's doing something that benefits the household.
Yeah.
You know what benefit the household? I'll do what you do always. Let me do it, but let's watch John Goodman now.
It's for the same reason when I was dating, and I should have known this. We should have never gotten married. We'd be watching. It'd be the climax of the movie,
right?
And then I'm in the theater when we'd all go to theaters.
Sure.
And she'd be putting lotion on in the theater, so now it smells like flowers. My sensory depravation into the theater is completely off, and it smells.
It should smell like a sweaty action
I
hero.
want popcorn and sweat. I don't want perfume.
My spouse has taken putting candles and air fresheners around the house on those little sockets.
Yeah.
And we used to have a psychic on called Ellen Cunningham.
Yes, the late Ellen Cunningham.
She's got an air freshener out there that smells like Ellen Cunningham's taint.
Oh.
It's just, it goes on.
Thank you for letting me vent. I'm so sorry.
By the way, Mike, if you're thirsty, the Cunningham estate has put out a brand new Cunningham shard.
Yes. Yes. Where do you get your hands on that
It's
shard?
delicious, very buttery.
In an open letter posted Monday, but since removed from his website, veteran singer-songwriter Neil Young gave an ultimatum to Spotify, stating that they can have Joe Rogan or Neil Young, not both.
Oh.
At the heart of his complaint is that he feels the popular comedian-turned-podcaster has been spreading questionable vaccine safety information through his show. As Rolling Stone reported, Young posted this letter, an open letter, entitled A Message to Spotify, stating, "I want you to let Spotify know immediately today that I want all my music off their platform. I am doing this because Spotify is spreading fake information about vaccines, potentially causing death to those who believe the disinformation being spread by them. Last month, a group of around 270 doctors, researchers, and other healthcare professionals drafted and signed an open letter demanding that Spotify, who house Rogan's podcast, introduce a policy on misinformation. I think they're behind the curve on this.
You know what? This is big talk for a guy that's been spreading misinformation for 50 years that he knows how to sing.
Down by the river, keep me searching for a heart of gold. I happen to agree with Neil Young on this. The
I do too,
letter
actually,
from the doctors cited Rogan for repeatedly spreading misleading and false claims on his podcast, provoking distrust in science and medicine. I haven't heard the way Rogan presents this. Now, if he's having a dialogue with somebody, which is the way I understand that's the way he does his show, at least the ones that I've seen, but it's been too often in the news that he's talking about what he does and his different.
He was ahead of the curve on that horse tranquilizer, wasn't he?
Aaron Rodgers was citing him as a source.
Yeah. I think but the difference between Aaron Rodgers and Joe Rogan is Joe Rogan does that every day, and that's how he makes his living. And I think that you got to be careful because he's got look. Joe Rogan's podcast is up here. Our podcast is down here. So I think you get into that. Searching for a heart of gold, and I'm growing old. Rob brings back one of my favorite old impersonations.
Yes.
If I was Bob Rivers, I'd be doing an anti-Joe Rogan song with Neil Young.
Bob Rivers.
What?
Yeah, you're a bald head weed smoker.
If I could look into the future, there's a phone call that comes into Neil and says, Neil, this is your accountant speaking. These residual checks from Spotify are cartoon-sized. Knock it off.
That's the way you would look at it. Always thinking about your fellow man, Oscar. Yeah. That's right. I got to look at the money there.
He'll sing a song called Pot of Gold.
Hey, if I didn't have them, nobody'd be looking out for the finances on this show. It's okay. I'm with that, All right, moving on. Elton John revived his farewell Yellow Brick Road tour. It's hitting pause. He got the COVID. He turned 75 in March. He canceled his goodbye shows Tuesday and Wednesday. Sorry, Dallas, at the American Airlines Center. He'll reschedule the dates. The shows were originally scheduled for June. So this is the third time. In a statement to USA Today, his rep said the singer, who is fully vaxxed and boosted, is experiencing only mild symptoms. He's expected to resume the tour on Saturday in Little Rock. Doesn't Elton get sick even if there's not COVID, right? Doesn't he do that periodically?
Mike, he has the toupee variant.
Is that right? Oh, man. Billy Joel's going to be here Friday night, and it's just obscene. No, I can't go. It's silly. But besides, my son's got flag football. But the tickets, I saw a $4,000 ticket. A $4,000 ticket. Yeah. Come on. At the Hard Rock. It's crazy. And now a little something. A drug suspect found with fentanyl and a bag of needles. They caught him up. What part of Florida? Where was he? I know. Vero Beach. Police responded Saturday afternoon to a 911 call about a suspicious person. And they found 30-year-old Eric Bennett on a Vero Beach street. An officer described Bennett as visibly intoxicated.
Oh, dear, Bennett.
On an unknown substance. He was asked about what he had in his pockets, and that's when he told cops that he had hypodermic needles that he used for fishing.
What state is this
Florida. In? Yeah, right. Vero Beach.
Of course.
He handed over also a cigarette pack containing a baggie of fentanyl. Bennett, who is scheduled to be arraigned on February 25th, has prior convictions. Here we go. Grand theft, DUI, driving without a license, possession of drug paraphernalia, and a probation violation.
Oh, Bennett.
He also runs charters for Florida tourists who want to go out and spearfish for sardines. Yeah. Hey, man. They're for fishing.
Yeah, he doesn't need one of those
wasted thing.
He doesn't need one of those Sharps containers.
No.
He just puts it in his pocket.
Like my body.
Yeah,
we got to take a break. We'll come back with more fun. You are listening to the Mike O'Mara Show. Spearfishing.
Hi, folks. It's aging television heartthrob Tom Selleck. Back in the 80s, I played a Hawaiian detective on Magnum P.I. Look, this isn't my first rodeo, and let me tell you something. I wouldn't be here today if I thought the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show took advantage of any American podcast listener. Or worse, that it was some kind of way to take you home. Now, who the hell am I kidding? I'd sell my own grandmother for a hot lunch. No, a Mike O'Mara Bonus Show subscription isn't some kind of trick to take away your home. In fact, it's quite affordable. I mean, I can't afford that kind of thing anymore, but surely you can. After all, this is how Mike, Rob, and Oscar try to feed their families. Go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and start your subscription today, won't you? Look, I'm proud to be part of the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show family. I trust them, and I think you can too. The other thing people always ask me is if I banged Courtney Cox when I was on Friends. Yes, I did. And I think you could too.
Still my favorite Twitch. I love that. Welcome back to the show, brought to you by Best Fiends. You know Rob is obsessed.
Yes.
He's obsessed with Best Fiends.
I am.
He can't put it down.
I love it.
And now that we're deep into January, things are a bit dreary. You got a snowstorm coming up there. No better time to lose yourself in the Fiendiverse. Best Fiends is a mobile puzzle game that anyone can download and play. Whether you have a few minutes or a few hours, Best Fiends features tons of cute characters that help you solve thousands of fun puzzles. Not fan puzzles. Fun puzzles.
You will be a fan of the puzzles, though.
The more you play, the more characters you collect. And by the way, I love saying characters like that.
Characters?
Characters. And the more you win, the more challenges you face. So get in there and beat them. What's the latest? You were at 5,000 something.
Yeah, I'm at 5,096 now, Mike. It's called...
Oh, you're not obsessed.
Mike,
you'd be at 7,000 if you were
volatile
obsessed.
buzzing. And here's what you're going to love. I know you like to beat up the slugs, but do you know what you have to beat in this level?
What?
Bees!
Bees. They're tearing my flesh off. Bees! Oh. They have thousands of levels. You literally can play as long as you want and never get bored. Oscar yells at Rob all the time. Rob, you can't do your work.
And I said, but Oscar, the bees!
Get on the Best Fiends bandwagon now. Download Best Fiends free today on the App Store or Google Play. That's Friends without the aw. Best Fiends, everybody. All right, I wanted to do this. It's going to take a long time. We're running late, so maybe I want to talk about
segments.
I don't think it's 2 segments worthy. It's about texting. It's about texting. It's kind of like for Pony Boy. No, I'm not going to do that. I will tell you, I'm sorry. It's about me. I apologize, but it's another kink.
It's the Mike O'Mara show.
It's another kink, though.
Oh, by the way,
this is a video kink.
A 5-second question: Is your snake still stained?
No, but the behavior is not.
Oh, you pissed him off.
No, it's just he's a little odd. I know him well. I take him out every day, and I look at him, and I think he might have smeared his poop on the wall of the aquarium.
Oh no.
I don't know that.
But I mean, that might just have been.
Yeah, that's got to be accident. I don't know that that's in his skill set.
I'm not sure. I had him out last night, and if he's not into being out, he will wrap himself around my wrist and kind of just stay there.
Because he's a ball python.
If he is, that's what they like to do. But if he's like feeling his oats, he'll be moving around, and that's when I feel like I'm giving him his exercise.
Well, you don't want him to get fat.
Taking him for a walk on your body.
My hands are the treadmill, Oscar. My hands are the treadmill.
I'm a 6-foot-tall Peloton.
Here we are. He can go anywhere. So
Thank you.
I talked about when I'm watching TV. I just finished watching Yellow Jackets.
Okay.
Great.
Which I give
Showtime.
I give a big meh.
Really?
Oh,
All right.
no.
I watch
Don't
it.
spoil
It's
anything.
entertaining.
Still new.
I will go back
Yes.
next year and watch the second season if they get it. And it's okay, but it's not like my God, I have to see this.
Right.
But we watched it every night until we finished binging it. I think it's 10 episodes. We watched the 10th episode last night. Do they have more coming? I don't think so.
I haven't heard if they have been re-upped. I know that it probably resonates with Carla because she was probably she probably recognizes the music and that the age and.
So 1996. They are the class of 1996.
She's 10 years younger.
High school class or college class?
It's the high school class of 96.
Okay.
Yeah, but
so what does that make? Somebody who graduated in 96 would be
42.
Would be 41. That's Carla.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's Carla's. She's into. Well, we're usually into the some of the same shows, and we watch that, and it's okay. It's not like you can't watch it.
It was one of those shows.
I
bet it was one of those shows that you said, "Well, we're this far in. Let's go ahead and finish it."
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I liked it. It moves slow, but I liked it.
I liked it. I didn't love it. That's how I would describe Yellow Jackets' make your decisions with that. So my drill quite often will be if I start, like Carla goes to bed right out. Carla is a 9:30 go to bedder, getting up, has a lot of early stuff that she does with her esthetician business, has some people in the medical profession that she gets them off their shifts, which is fascinating to me. Well, she will get a 7:30 facial for somebody who's coming in off a healthcare shift, and I love that
that's
she's
cool.
doing work. So I'm, I don't require as much sleep as anyone in this house, so I kind of hang out for a little bit.
Hello.
But if what
creatures of the night,
yes,
it is when
vampire.
I come alive.
I am vampire. But I know. Last night I went to bed at I think 10 o'clock and didn't have to take Michael to school today because he had a dentist appointment, and so I got up at 7 a.m. About a little before 7, about 6:45. I feel like I could conquer the world.
Of course.
Today. So my drill will be, I usually don't dive into another TV show. I will normally surf the web, and I spend a lot of time because once you go through your email and you go through a little Facebook and you go through a few news highlights like that, you're left with really not much unless you go to the YouTube. And so the fascinating things, we talked about Haulover Inlet, where the boats are going into the waves, and there are ladies with in various stages of bikinidom on that.
If you like boobs and boats, that's the link for you.
But there are other weird things that I do, and it hit me like a bell today, hitting me in the head, that this particular thing I watch, I'll ask you guys if you've ever seen it. There are these videos where they take a cow and they've got cattle, some sort of cattle situation, and they have an infected hoof, and they scrape the hoof until they get to this is like Dr. Pimple
Popper videos, yeah.
It's like Pimple Popper only with a cow's hoof. I can't handle Dr. Pimple Popper. I've looked at those, but I can't stay on them.
Like a good blackhead.
With they take this knife, this like putty knife thing, this super sharp razor thing, and it doesn't. You've seen them?
Yeah,
you've seen them where they scrape the cows.
I've seen horses.
Well, I don't know enough about hooves, so
hooves
for me.
Pause.
I thought hooves.
What does the mother say in Goodfellas? He got it caught in his.
He got its foot. It's paw. You know what I mean?
I thought I thought that they were I thought horses were the only ones that got horseshoes, but now they're showing cows.
Well, they'll use a prosthetic on the cow's hoof to take the pressure off the sore side. But they get gribblies in their feet. They'll like walk on stuff and then they'll get infected. And the thing that I noticed about it is the hoof. The hoof is basically a nail.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
it's like, well, we have nails. They have hoof. So they can scrape this thing till the sun.
You see, here's why
till the sun comes home. What am I doing today? What's wrong with my references?
It's like toe cheese to the next level.
Here's why the food in my belly is rising up my esophagus right now, because I have seen the scraping of hooves on horses, and I think actually it's part of the deal. Like when you shoe a horse, you take the old shoe off, you scrape it, and you reshoe it. And I think that's normal.
You scrape the nail, their hoof.
But when you talk about infection, that's
this is like
gross.
Yeah, well, they've got more like piggy feet.
Yes, it's a cloven hoof, is it not?
A cloven hoof on a cow, and then they'll find the infection, and then all the pus comes out.
Yeah.
How's that breakfast going, everybody? For those of you that are watching that,
imagine your big toe.
It was a mixed berry yogurt is what I'm tasting.
All right, we're going to do the texting thing when we come back. That's gross, but I just wanted to share. Enjoy it at home. If you like that type of thing, gross people out there, really enjoy yourself.
You know what you are?
Especially when they hit pay dirt and all of a sudden.
You know what you are? Gross. You're a mess.
Yeah, I am.
I'm
a hot mess. Yeah, but I'm a wide awake hot mess. We'll take a break, and then we'll come back to talk texting right here on the Mike O'Meara Show. Whoa.
Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, God.
Antony and Cleopatra.
Yes. Yeah.
Bogey and Bacall. Add to that list another one of the world's greatest love stories.
Emptying the dishwasher.
Mike and Carla O'Mara. Their love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Their love is like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. And nowhere is that love story more on display than the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Yes, fall in love with love again and again with a Mike O'Mara Bonus Show subscription. Lovingly tap the banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com and order the TMOS Bonus Show today. You'll love it, just like Carla loves Mike.
Love. Hi, everybody. Hey, I want to tell you about Indochino, whether it's finding a signature color, wearing a more flattering cut, or getting a new statement piece. The right detail can take your wardrobe up a notch. This year, let Indochino take care of your 2022 style edit. You can customize everything from suits and shirts to chinos and bomber jackets. That's right, bomber jackets. At prices more affordable than you might expect. Indochino, look at that lining. Look at that lining Oscar's got if you got the TV going today. Indochino offers completely custom-fitted suits, shirts, casual wear, and more at surprisingly affordable prices. Every piece is made to your exact measurements, and you can customize every detail. The best part, their suits at Indochino start from just $429 bucks. And shirts from $79 with all customizations included. We just saw that Oscar has used Indochino for years with that great lining. I love it as well. I have a suit from Indochino in the closet. You will too. You'll feel like a king. Give yourself a style edit that sets the tone for the rest of the year with Indochino. Get $50 off any purchase of $399 or more by using promo code TMOS at Indochino.com. That's $50 off a purchase of $399 or more at INDOCHINO.com. Promo code TMOS. All right, let me grab this right now because this caught my eye. This is texting and how you know if somebody is either liking you, into you. It's just the rules. Okay. And if you're not savvy, this, I think it's pretty straightforward. Are they sort of
unwritten rules, like stuff that you have to interpret?
Like dating?
Yeah, there's not a formal setup, but this is what you can pick up. This is somebody that just studied it a little bit.
All right.
This is how you know somebody likes you if you're texting. They reply quickly is number one. That's the first way to tell. While you can't expect someone to text when they're busy at work or traveling, it's a great sign if your possible future partner makes an effort to write back quickly as often as possible. That's a big deal for everybody, but that's cool.
Depending on your age bracket. If you're sub 20, that may be something that turns off a girl. But if you
respond too fast,
because then you're like, oh, this guy's just waiting for it.
Well, it's kind of like in the John
Swingers,
the Swingers, where you don't
you got to wait a few days.
I think 3 days is kind of money,
right? John Favreau, that's it. John Favreau and Vince Vaughn. Yes.
What about 2 days? 2 days is okay, but 3 days is kind of money.
Well, for the average people out there that may be in a more advanced relationship, I think it shows that you're a priority in their life. Number two, their texts are engaging. I don't know about this. They won't give a one-word answer like yep or IDK. Instead, they'll share how they feel, tell you about their day. I think the three of us would probably be quite respectful to one another via text. As promptly, if we miss a text, it's usually we're engaged in something. It's not because we saw it.
Because I like you.
Also,
no, it's because we respect each other.
Also,
that's what I like.
Mike has...
Am I bad at it? Tell me if I'm
No,
bad
you
at
have a great... So Rob and I will text each other, and then I'll see he had an answer, or I have an answer back and forth with Pony, and then I'll be like, can you confirm that you got this? And they say, I'm so sorry, I just got this. Yes, I got it. If you don't answer Mike within literally 180 seconds, he will write back, hello, with a question mark.
Oh, the best one is the best one is 3 or 4 question marks.
3 question marks.
Yeah, 3 is kind of
without
money.
the hello sometimes. Like, just like hey.
Like we spit in his face over that 180 seconds somehow.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I guilty. Guilty as charged. I have no defense that I want to mount on that. I mean, I'm
You
the
like
youngest.
things to get done.
I'm
put
the
the bat signal
youngest. There were 7. There are 5 cousins and an older sister, 7 years apart from me in my family. I'm insecure.
How's Kathy?
They tortured me.
Is Kathy a good texter?
The worst.
The worst. Yeah, I bet.
It tells me all I need. Oh, okay. Well, like I didn't need confirmation. By the way, I'm sorry. I was looking out the window.
You're
Sorry,
still
I couldn't
going
get
down to
back
the Keys 3 weeks later. Hey, we're in the Keys. Where are you?
Yeah.
You never texted me back.
We will be together. We will be together just after St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
We'll be down in the Keys with my sister for the weekend, and it is the anniversary of my mom passing, so it's a very good time. We're bringing Michael with us, and there's this amazing fort down there in Key West, and we're going to ride bikes, and we're going to have a good time, and it's going to be fantastic. So, number 3, they let you know when they'll be busy. If someone likes you, they'll make it clear when they're going to be unavailable. Communicating,
hey,
That's
I'm in a
respect.
meeting
That
till
is-
5. I'll talk to you afterwards.
It's like being, I mean, to me, it's like being on time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, they apologize.
And the silence hung heavy in the air.
Yes.
Number 4, they apologize for being gone. While there's no need to gravel after missing a text, it's a good sign that they offer a quick apology to missing your messages. Do I get any credit at all for occasionally saying, sorry,
Yes.
I missed your text?
I think we all do that.
Yeah,
within
we try to do
segment.
that, yeah.
Yes.
But this is not business people like us.
Yeah, but
this
these are
is,
relationships.
This is
We're just not trying to
relationships.
have sex with each other. Not yet.
Number 5.
Why are you touching me there?
They start saying we on text. Another giveaway, someone has a crush on you. They start saying we and us as a relationship.
Oh, I thought you meant like in French.
International language of love.
Are you coming? Oui, I'm coming.
Note to self, bring more of this prepared comedy to the show. The boys are into it. Gary W. Lewandowski, he's a PhD. He tells the website, is there a website called Bustle?
Yes, there is.
All right. Those pronouns suggest a greater sense of a couple or shared identity. In relationships, individuals merge. Yeah. All right. Number
Unless,
6.
Mike, unless the text is we're breaking up.
We are done. We are over. Oh, swab me. Swab me.
It's the end of us.
El Bicho.
They dish out, number 6, they dish out the compliments. Keep an eye out for compliments. Therapist Kimberly Hershenson Simpson says it's another sign they like you. Okay, duh. You had to get a doctorate in therapy to find out if they give you compliments, they like you.
Might be.
Duh. That's why, I'm sorry. I'm all for it. Hey, if it's helping you and you go to a therapist, I'm fine. But other than that, that's classic therapist right
now. For the ponies of the
know?
world, this helps.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
It does.
okay. Pony, are you listening to this?
Oh, yeah, I'm absorbing it all and putting it into practice.
That's right. And
Thank
he's going to
you.
reply
That's
to you
wonderful.
in about 2.5 days.
Thank you. Pony's the worst of all.
Oh, worst. I'm fishing.
Right?
Yeah,
what do you do with your phone when you go home?
We leave it in the car sometimes or in the bedroom.
We leave it in the bedroom. I love that. Let's see. You use nicknames. My buddy Oli we use a nickname for each other that I cannot share with you on
Really?
in fact, Oli uses it for a lot of people. He loves the word. It's kind of a hyphenated word, but it's not a hyphenated word. It's a 2-word, you know.
Oh, I got it.
I bet the first word is the first part is a noun. Yeah.
Here, let me I'll use your pen. It's fine.
No, yes, the first word would be a noun, but it might not be the noun you think.
Is it a gender-specific noun?
Let's see. Did you?
Your handwriting is the worst.
What's the first letter? What's the first letter in Oscar's word?
E.
Yeah.
No, it's C.
Oh. I don't even speak Spanish. I know what that is.
Okay.
Never mind.
Hi, Oli. They find ways to
Is the second
prolong
part suggest a lollipop?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay,
You got it.
thank you.
There, you got it. They find ways to prolong the conversation. They start using heart emojis. I cannot tell you how many I use with my daughters. Back and forth, we do a lot of hearts. They show concern. They start to open up. All these are pretty straightforward, right? This is not trailblazing.
What if you use the blue heart?
What is the blue heart?
I don't know.
Can I give you, like, this is just sadistic, but if you're a single man or a woman, if you want to do this and you have the upper hand, like, you know someone likes you. And I was taught this by a roommate in college. And I've only put it into practice maybe 2 or 3 times. Not proud of it. When you're engaging with a young lady or young man, whatever it may be, and you really want to mind F them, you say, you know how I feel about you. And then that just lingers because they'll give you like an automatic yes or whatever.
It's such a horrible thing to say, though.
Well, I'm just trying to help. I'm trying
you
to
don't show me enough affection.
No,
well, you know how I feel about
that's
you.
That's not the context. That's actually
okay,
not
what's
the context. The context is you start off.
What would be she sends to you to elicit that response, and in what context would it be?
Well, no, you initiate the conversation by saying, "You know how I feel about you."
So you would start
that's the opener?
That's the opener. And
I'd be terrified. You know how I feel about you because then
then they start thinking like if she likes you and she thinks that you might like her, then they start thinking about like, oh my God, he does have feelings.
Yeah, it's like the Queen's. It's like the Queen's Gambit.
Oh, so you would send it out by itself.
You send it out by itself.
You know how I feel about you.
Yes, and then you're like, and then you essentially take that subject matter. This is terrible. And this was done in person before we were texting in college. Just like done in person. So you start the conversation.
One of Oscar's swordsman buddies here.
Exactly.
He said, you just let them know, and then they start thinking about, like, how do you feel about them? And they may give you a nod or not. And I was like, well, what do you do afterwards? He goes, they just start talking about something else, like you didn't just say that, and move on.
That's pretty funny. I like that's better. By the way, that's better than this entire thing that I've got.
But
here.
but it got you. That thing got us there, so that's good.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, they text the first thing in the morning and the last thing at night.
I can see that. Yeah.
Giving it away, right? Their texts seem personalized, blah, blah, blah. They actually go to bed when they say they are. Well, that's weird. I don't know that.
Well, they're not out.
The conversation
out
flows.
catting
These are all keys that things are going well. They always remember to check in. All right, this is as a relationship's growing. And let's see. They want to do more than text. The most telling sign of a desire to move past texting, a marriage and family therapist says, do they want to talk on the phone, chat via FaceTime, meet up in person? If so, they may have a budding romance. So if they want to do more, text me, FaceTime me. I mean, call me, FaceTime me.
We should bone.
Most of these relationships on these dating sites are text first, and then because of all the catfishing, you must FaceTime.
Yes.
We are in love with you. Yes. We are deeply in love with you.
You know how we feel about you.
That's the mind F.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And then, of course, if it is a woman who is equally a game person, that's pretty cool because then they will respond with silence.
Exactly.
And then the guy's like, "Oh my God!" It turned around on it.
Look, a squirrel.
Or yes.
That would be a good reply.
The single word yes. Like, for example, my buddy Mark Miller, who had me as a backup for his invitational tournament, and he made a big show of saying I was his backup. About 3 weeks ago, I got a text message from me. Are you playing in the invitational? And I wrote back, yes.
Let it linger.
No response from him.
Yeah.
See, he's a manipulative son.
Classic Miller.
Yes, classic Miller. When I couldn't make it to his Christmas party, he said I was dead to him.
I remember.
And then 5 minutes later, he's asked me if I want to play. Come on, be a friend. To be a friend, you have to get a friend, you have to be a friend.
That's right.
Anyway, we have to take a break and come back more. You know what I mean to you. You know what you mean to me.
In fairness to my college roommate, he's married to his college sweetheart, and they've been married this long. So
and she knows how he feels.
Yes. And then that hands across America level of mistresses. No, I'm sorry. We'll take a break and we'll come back with Soundtown.
Hey, kids, where do you want to go for dinner?
Amato!
Now Jim Amato is going to sell a veggie burger.
Amato burger.
I love beef, but I'll take this.
You'll not believe the incredible Michael Mara burger.
This Amato veggie burger is fantastic.
Oh, God, these are good.
Welcome to Amato's, Pittsburgh's favorite burger.
It says 100% guaranteed, you moron.
At Amato's, we pack our burgers with top quality cuts of beef and prepare everything with tender love and care.
Did they teach you that here, Brad?
If you're hungry for laughs, why not try the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show? Supersize the fun with a yearly subscription at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Yeah, don't just stare at it, eat it.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Kiwico. A new year is a great time to discover new things about our interests, and it's just as important for kids to make these same discoveries with a Kiwico subscription. Your child can make new discoveries all year long. Kids can explore the engineering behind everyday objects, the science and chemistry of cooking, geography and culture, and art and design techniques, all through fun hands-on projects. Michael loves his Kiwico crates. He loves them, and I love watching him stay busy and challenged while having a blast, and he is a busy kid, but he still needs some of that time filled, and Kiwico is the best way to do it. It's really great. The science of magic, engineering, a domino machine, exploring new worlds, rediscovering familiar ones without even leaving home. As a parent, it can be hard to find creative ways to keep your child busy and challenged. Kiwico does the legwork for you, plus you can pause or cancel anytime. Redefine learning with play and get 50% off your first month free shipping on any crate line with code TMOS at Kiwico.com. That's 50% off your first month at KIWICO.com. Promo code TMOS. Sorry for the bad reading, everybody.
Did you hear that? Listen about a sound.
Do you hear?
There's a new sound.
Soundtown.
Think about a year ago when Jeopardy was still hosted by Alex Trebek, and America had a fairly high opinion of Aaron Rodgers. That was only a year ago.
Yeah.
And now he's sort of persona non grata.
Oh,
and
he lied to the world.
And he addresses it. This guy is, and he looks like, and as you said, he looks like a homeless fellow now.
No, he looks like he just got out of a cell block C.
Yeah,
that he's been pumping iron. With the Aryan Brotherhood. That's what he looks like.
And
seriously, that's the look he's cultivating.
And so he's issued a statement, and he does. And it's like, F you. Listen,
there were a ton of people tuning in, rooting against us for one reason and one reason only. It's because of my vaccination status and them wanting to see us lose so they could pile on and enjoy and revel in the fact that, my vaccination status was some sort of reason why we haven't had success in the playoffs or whatever it might be, some sort of correlation.
Yeah. So that, yes, I say yes, guilty, yes. Yeah,
of course.
It's not the vaccination status that made me want to do it. It's the fact that you lied about it and you were arrogant about it.
Yeah.
And you think you know more than doctors and scientists, and the people die because of you propagating that BS because you have a very, very large microphone in front of you, Aaron. So he doesn't get it. He doesn't understand why people might be angry.
About it.
He's
Yeah.
arrogant.
All right, here's an athlete that I like. The Australian Open, they're playing doubles tennis, and his name is Nick, I think it's Kyrgios, and he does a huge overhand smash that goes into the crowd and hits a kid. And they show the kid crying, and he actually he makes the ultimate yikes face when he sees it happen. He draws his teeth back because he's like, oh my God, I hurt this kid.
Let for service.
One for the fans. Forcibly, although I think that may have hit someone incredibly hard.
It was a kid.
There is a young fan who's just copped the full force of that and wasn't expecting it to come.
Kid get hurt?
So Ibraz Rocky Moore
He's hurt a little
coming
bit.
down just to check to see.
I think he got hit in the stomach, the poor kid.
It is unfortunate because Kyrgios did put that ball away.
What are you going to do, give him a racket?
A racket or a towel or
give
something.
Give him a racket at least.
Yeah.
Oh, he gave him a tennis racket.
Gave him a
Make you
racket.
feel a little better.
And the kid smiles, so the kid's okay. But it was a great moment because the guy was so genuinely sad. He was sad about it.
To see that. And there was I was watching a little of the Australian Open, and only for one reason. No, I shouldn't say this. I'm such a dirty old man.
What?
There was a particular tennis outfit being worn by one of the competitors.
The full body suit?
It had.
Was it this guy, Nick?
No. Kind of looked more like a toga than a. I should stop.
Yeah.
I should. Mrs. Omer. I should stop.
Go. Mike.
You don't look, you die.
It's true. Ever forward. When you went to the minor league hockey game with Michael, was it a teddy bear toss or was it a
teddy bear toss?
Duck toss. All right.
Right before Christmas, I think around right around the middle of December, about December 15th, they have a teddy bear toss, and the first team that scores. I mean, when the home team scores, the teddy bears hit the ice.
The Hershey Bears in Hershey, Pennsylvania had a teddy bear toss over the weekend. They broke a world record. 52,341 stuffed animals were thrown on the ice, all of them being donated to kids' charities and
That's
hospitals.
Amazing when you think about the size of that arena.
But this is great. Listen to this.
Near side, Janssen Fialbi, sub-goal line feed. He gets it back. Right circle, pulls the trigger, and scores!
Oh, my God.
Sweet, cuddly mayhem! It's teddy bear toss time! It's Axel Janssen Fialbi! The flow makes them fly! Furry creatures of all shapes and sizes.
All right. I mean, it's great. It's great they did that for the play-by-play guy, though. I mean, just keep it in your pants a little bit, really.
Yeah, I suppose. Well,
come on.
At his house, he has something else he cuddles
Furry creatures of all shapes and sizes. Oh, my God, the humanity.
I'm grinding against the San Diego chicken.
No, it's wonderful.
It is.
And it's the one game we guarantee we go to every year, and you have to get in line to get there. You got to get in early or you don't get tickets to it. And it's amazing to see. The other thing that's great about it is these guys in the ECHL.
Right.
They don't get a chance to see these crowds very often.
That's true.
It's good for them as well. It's fun.
The amazing thing, Mike, 52,000 bears. There was only 800 people in attendance. So everyone had a lot of bears.
Oh, they just came in with buckets.
And let's close with this. Seth Meyers, again, we talked about him earlier, talked about him here. Great announcement from NASA. They have the new telescope in effect.
NASA announced that the world's largest and most powerful space telescope has reached its observation post and is now 1 million miles away from Earth. Must be nice.
That's all I got.
Now leaving SoundCloud. Please come again.
Yeah, we got to get out of here, everybody. Hey, where's the thing? Come on.
Play
there
the
you
thing.
go. Anywho, thanks so very much for all of your support for my son's heart thing. Really, really great to raise money for the Heart Association through his elementary school. And to all of you that did that, especially one of the most generous people in the world, our big D energy out there in Washington. Dirk, you're a sweetheart. Thank you. And
DV.
Jolene, you too. Jolene and Dirk, who are really catalysts for so many good things with CMOS. Appreciate both of you guys. We got to get out of here. We'll be back with yes, sir.
I want to thank Michael Goff.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, Michael Goff. Yes,
and Dennis Lowe, our talking
and
head.
Dennis Lowe.
Lowe.
Dennis Love is another guy.
Yeah, Dennis Love.
Or it's Mike Love.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow with a brand new episode. Maybe Terrence Fletcher coming in to talk to me about focus. As energetic as I was today, might have been, a little drifting once in a while. A lot going on. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, Michael Mayer saying so long, everybody.
Go Pack, go.
Ciao, ciao.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
This is a circus. The mainstream media has legitimized extraterrestrial life and is basically saying we are being visited, something is going on.
We're playing golf and you're going to like it. What about my asthma? I'll give you asthma.
Sayonara, sucker.
Wow.